Hey, it's Thursday of Holy Week. Sometimes this day has kind of a special name in church tradition. Sometimes it's called Maundy Thursday. It's called that because of the word mandate in English comes from the same Latin root. And on Thursday, before Jesus was crucified on Friday, he had a holiday meal, a Passover meal to remember God's redeeming work in the past for his people. And during that Passover meal, he was talking with his disciples, and one of the things that he talked about was a mandate to love one another. While we're reflecting on that today, instead of just giving you some of my own thoughts on Jesus's mandate to love one another, I decided just to do a little, I thought maybe I'd do a little read aloud with you. Is that okay? Can I do a little read aloud? And the read aloud comes from a little book by a really good little book called The Gospel, written by Ray Ortlund. And so here are a few of his reflections on this topic. He says, Jesus told us that the unbelieving world will identify us as Christians only as we reflect his loveliness. He said, quote, and this is a direct quote from John 13:34-35, "A new commandment I give you, that you love one another, just as I have loved you. You also are to love one another. By this, all people will know that you are my disciples if you have love for one another." Ray Ortlund reflects, the command of Christ is that we love one another. The example of Christ is that we die for one another. The promise of Christ is that our love will show a skeptical world the difference that he really makes. Love is Christ's authorized way for us to be convincing. People today don't care about doctrine, but they do care about love. The world is not impressed by anything about us except the love of Christ, nor should they be. If we fail to love one another in ways so striking that we actually start looking like Jesus, then the world has the right to judge that we know nothing of him. They might be wrong. We might indeed be Christians, but the world is right to dismiss unloving Christians as unchristian. Jesus himself gave them that right. Jesus said even more. In John 17, he prayed not for the human race in general, but for his people. Quote, "I am not praying for the world, but for those whom you have given me, that they may all be one, just as you, Father, are in me and I in you, that they also may be in us, so that the world may believe that you have sent me." John 17:9 and 21. And then he comments, ultimate reality in the eternal Godhead is loving community. The Father at one with the Son at one with the Father. The world knows nothing of such intense, personal, unbroken unity. The world is divisive, angry, tense, and trigger-happy. The world does not believe that real unity can even exist. They have never seen it. All they have ever known is dog eat dog. But Jesus prayed for us in his church that we would be a new kind of community here in this world. He prayed that our churches would be living proof of ultimate reality beyond the world today, so that more people might look beyond this world as they see in our churches, yes, even our churches, some reflection of the unity of the Father with the Son, and then believe in the gospel. That's the hope and the goal and the aim of this Thursday before Good Friday. The word that we want to keep in mind on Maundy Thursday is love. Love which is commanded by Christ, love which is demonstrated by Christ, and love which is meant to be a proclamation to the world that Jesus changes lives today.